This is TRAX, Salt Lake City's light rail system. Okay, well, not yet, but it could be. Our local transit provider, the UTA, is working on a plan to bring TRAX to Fourth West and the Granary. This tiny 2.5-mile extension could change everything for the TRAX system. We're here at the University of Utah's Marriott Library to ask some students how they get to the airport from campus.
Well, normally I just take an Uber because you have to transfer to the Green Line downtown, which takes forever.
What about our good friends in the South Valley?
Well, I'd love to take the train, but I'd have to change lines downtown, which takes ages.
And what about the only line that actually does go to the airport? Well, you see, to get to the airport, the Green Line has to take a long and rather slow detour through downtown, meaning it actually takes almost an hour to get from here to the airport, even though it's 6 miles north, almost dead straight. There is a bus route that would take you closer, but it still requires a transfer to the Green Line. Back to the Granary. There's another problem with the current system. All three lines, red, green, and blue, have to share the same slow routing into downtown. Look at those nasty curves. On a good day, this mess just limits the frequency of trains running into downtown. But on a bad day, well, UTA wants to take this bit of unused track to create a new median running light rail line through downtown to connect to the central trunk. Now, this plan has a lot of benefits, the most important of which is that a lot more places downtown are going to be accessible by TRAX for the first time, especially in the Granary, but also places like Pioneer Park. The plan has the added benefit of allowing the Orange Line, a new light rail line from the airport to the university, to be built for the first time, which could connect commuters from the university directly to the airport and to Frontrunner, our regional rail line. UTA also wants to swap the green and the blue lines so that more people from the South Valley will have a one-seat ride to the airport. The whole plan has the added benefit of doubling the frequency on both Fourth South and North Temple. Sounds like a pretty good plan, right? The version of the plan that we just showed you is the most recent and, in our opinion, the best. But UTA planners have to get paid, and so they've come up with some creative ideas. The Orange Line could turn downtown at Main Street and continue to the airport. Wait, what the heck is the Green Line? This one's just like the good plan, except that the blue and green lines stay as they are now. The Orange Line only goes to Salt Lake Central because reasons. There's a streetcar instead of the Orange Line. Why? God only knows. I like to call this one backtracking fever because the Orange Line makes a big old detour over to Salt Lake Central before going on its merry way to the airport. This one must have been devised by either the guy who sells the curved rails for the 90-degree turns or somebody who really hates transit riders. Or we could be normal and just have the Orange Line use Fourth West to head towards the airport via North Temple Station. This is the one we talked about earlier, and it's by far the best. It's direct, would probably be pretty fast, and minimizes the number of nasty hard turns that trains need to make. So why do we, the TRAX riders of the world, want this change ASAP? Well, first of all, no more broken down trains or cars on the tracks blocking the whole system downtown for hours at a time. Secondly, we'd be able to run more trains. Since there's more tracks and more routes through downtown, we're able to run trains, more often than every 15 minutes. Third, we want more people to be able to get to the airport without a transfer. Instead of waiting at a Reno or Courthouse for a Green Line train, you'll be able to go straight to the airport from the university or the South Valley. And finally, maybe most importantly of all, we want to increase the number of people downtown who can access TRAX right from their home, instead of having to walk a long ways. These are all things that we desperately need and things that we think this plan could deliver on. But there are some potential drawbacks.
Wouldn't moving the red line further west slow it down as you're going up to the U?
Honestly, it might be kind of a wash. It's only going to move at about 2.5 blocks to the west, and because we're eliminating some really nasty street running between Ballpark and 9th South, it may actually be faster, depending on station placement in the granary, of course.
What if I live in West Valley? Would it take me longer to get to the airport?
In theory, yes, but we think that by rerouting the 217 to directly serve the airport, we might actually speed up travel times for people coming from West Valley. With that out of the way, oh, hi Will. I'd just like to say how excited I am that we finally have a new rail expansion in the works after more than 10 years. It's been a long time coming. Also, make sure to go leave some feedback on one of UTA's comment forms, which are listed below. And thanks for watching. As always, thanks to our patrons. And thank you. I forgot about the S-Line again. No plan to fix Trax's connectivity could possibly be complete without the least connected line of them all, the S-Line. Because it's a streetcar and not a light rail, and it has stops instead of stations, it tends to get left out of discussions like these. But what the whole plan is missing is that these new extensions have the potential to turn the S-Line from a mostly useless kind of shuttle line into a vital core route connecting our city's two business districts in downtown and Sugar House. First of all, let's get rid of Salt Lake Central. No, I'm serious. It was originally built as a temporary station, and the only thing it's, quote, central, unquote, to is empty lots and freeways. North Temple pulls twice as many frontrunner riders as is, and it can handle many more. Move all the buses that end at Salt Lake Central to this conveniently placed empty lot at North Temple, and suddenly, the Green Line is free to run in a loop around the newly built downtown square. That's one half of a circulator. Now, you take the S-Line and connect it into the broader system. When it gets to Ballpark, run it up alongside the Red Line and then in the opposite direction around the downtown square. That makes a whole downtown circulator line and turns the S-Line from an afterthought into a central part of the system. As excited as I am that we're finally getting a new rail expansion, there's so much more low-hanging fruit that we could go for. We talk about this more on the podcast, which you can find down there. Make sure to, leave a comment with UTA so that they know what you want. If we're going to get a new transit line, we need to be as good as it can be. Also, make sure to pressure your state legislatures because I know that your local transit agency is cash-strapped. And thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thank you to our patrons.